Now we will go on to the video, inshaAllah ta'ala. A video of where some travelers, one Egyptian and one Central Asian Muslim, they go to the location of the barrier which Salam had witnessed. So as we play the video, I will give you a running commentary, inshaAllah. This is Salam al-Tarjuman's map. So the map, Al-Wathiq Billah. This map, an old ancient map of the route that Salam al-Tarjuman took through various territories, including the Khazar Empire. As he mentioned, it took 16 months, and he took 30 men, and half of them died on the way, and they were reimbursed by the Khalifa al-Wathiq Billah. He even gave blood money. Now he uses Google Maps to go to the same area. As he goes to using Google Maps, he locates a barrier in Kyrgyzstan, modern day Kyrgyzstan. So outwardly the barrier looks like a snow covering between two mountains. A snow covering between two mountains. So this is a modern map, and this is the ancient map. I have copies of this also. This is the ancient map that they took. Even though the researcher of this book doesn't mention Kyrgyzstan, because he believes that it was the Great Wall of China they observed and they came back. So this now is the barrier, a picture of the barrier on Google Maps. So people say, where is the barrier on Google Maps? So if you notice, these are two mountain passes, as the Qur'an describes, Bayn al-Sadafayn. Sadafayn is the two tips of a mountain, and they are also described in the Qur'an as Saddain. So between the two, a barrier is made. So these are the individuals who leave. They go to Kyrgyzstan now, taking guides with them to go through the mountain range. So these mountains are some of the highest mountains in the world. And the people are horse, they use horse to scope the mountains still to this day, similar to the Mongols. And if you look at the flag of Kyrgyzstan, it has a sun. So Dhul-Qarnayn alayhi salam journeyed out to find where the sun sets and where the sun rises. This is mentioned. There is an additional video to this with Genghis Khan's history and how and regarding the water, the Black Lake. There is a Black Lake in Kyrgyzstan as well with black water, which fits the description of the Qur'an. So now they pass through all these mountain passes. So uncharted territory. At this point they rest for the night. So they camp out in the wilderness. At this point, he's just describing what food he's eating for the night. Of course, the original video is in Arabic. Otherwise, we would have played the sound. Now the next morning they depart from the campsite to the actual barrier. So one of them will board a plane with the army of Kyrgyzstan, and the other one will go by foot using donkeys and mules. So the terrain fits the stereotypical description of Yajuj and Majuj terrain, as well as the physical description of the Kyrgyzstani people or the people in that locality. Now they plan out the journey. This is the Egyptian researcher. He will be boarding a plane, and the native people will be going by mules. So they prepare for the journey, a bit similar to Salam al-Tarjuman, because he mentions they took with them mules and donkeys. So they needed mules and donkeys to research the terrain. So they ascend now using the mules or ponies. Now this is through the pass, the passing that we saw on the Google Maps. The side video is showing the Egyptian researcher boarding a plane with the army. So the army now will take him by plane, with the helicopter, to have a bird's eye view of the barrier. While the more interesting journey is the men on the ponies, because they will come across some interesting artifacts. He's planning the journey now with the army officers. And remember, what's interesting is that they've used Salam al-Tarjuman's map. And using a Salam al-Tarjuman's map, they found an actual barrier on Google Map. Using Google Map, they're actually flying and going by mules to the location. So it will be interesting for us now to see what they actually discover. So now they cannot even use mules. They must use backpacks. So they take the backpacks to ascend. As they march through, he finds man-made iron blocks. So this is one of the interesting finds. So iron blocks that were man-made, they will show those blocks that are lying around the region of the wall. So this is one block made from iron, but as you can see, that's man-made. That's done by men. That's not done by nature. As you notice, the mountains are clear of any snow. But when they reach the barrier, there will be snow covering the barrier. This is because iron is cold and the ice remains on the barrier throughout the year because of the cold iron. So initially when you will see the barrier, you will think this is just snow. But then what they will do is get ice picks and break through the ice and then use metal detectors to show that it's an actual iron barrier. So as they fly now, this flat ice that you observe is an actual barrier. What it covers is between two mountain tops, and what's behind that, as they believe, is Yajuj and Majuj, the tribe. This would mean that the backside of the mountain is covering Yajuj and Majuj like a roof. So like a huge cave or a huge tunnel that goes underground. So that would mean the two sides of the mountain cover them, and also the top of the mountain. And the Yajuj and Majuj were a mountain civilization that was embedded inside of the mountain, and this barrier is covering them. This is if we follow this claim. I will give my conclusion at the end. So this is now the back part of the mountain. So there's no way that someone can penetrate the inside of the mountain because all parts are covered. So that's the backside. But then the man-made area is the front. They claim that the front is the barrier of Yajuj and Majuj, when this side where the snow is showing. And they're saying that the snow and the ice remains throughout the year because the barrier is cold. So therefore the snow is retained. So this part they would claim is the barrier. So these are the stones he shows again, the iron man-made stones. As you can see, blocks. These are actual blocks of iron that are man-made. So these are, if the claim is true, then these are the remnants of some kind of dynamites that blew or some tools that were used to make iron blocks. They have a Sheikh Sha'rawi playing in the original video, reciting some tafsir, mentioning some commentary on the Surah Al-Kahf. Of course, a Sheikh Sha'rawi never ascribed to this position. This is a more recent discovery. If we dismiss the discovery of As-Salam Tarjuman. So they would claim that is the barrier, and the two ends are the Sadafain, and the rest of the mountain is covered. So if you remove the barrier, there is an entrance into the mountain. So this would mean an underground civilization or a mountain civilization. That is a better view, as you can see. It would take more independent scholars to travel out to Kyrgyzstan and verify this slope with more meticulous methods. If any of you are hikers and fit enough to go, then we can arrange some kind of journey to Kyrgyzstan. I'm sure the mountains of Yorkshire help in reaching some type of fitness. So now what they will do is they will go down the slope, cut away some of the ice, and then check for the metal. So this is a top view of the mountain and of the claimed barrier. They are claiming if you remove the ice, underneath is a barrier made from iron blocks. This is the claim. So he has descended and now he cuts out some of the ice and then uses a metal detector. Here in writing they claim that view is the two mountains on either side, which were from where Yajuj and Majuj would appear, and this barrier blocks them from coming out. Now he utilizes the metal detector. So in the original video, you would hear the bleeping of the metal detector. It shows positive for metal. So there is metal behind the ice. They claim this is the barrier of Yajuj and Majuj. So wherever he moves the metal detector, there is a bleeping sound. And this is to show, they throw an object down to show that the smooth surface is because it's a flat wall, not a natural wall. And this is a final view of what they claim is the barrier of Yajuj and Majuj. Of course, this will be disputed by people present. I am not claiming this is conclusive. I just found this to be an interesting piece of research. The fact that they went out their way to research it, we should commend them for that.